Something there. Hi, my name is Quinlan and welcome to the Drum Show. What I'm doing today is triggers, and what you can hear behind me is an ambient smartphone app called Trope, which was put together by Brian Eno, who's quite famous for many different things. Started off being a keyboard player for Roxy Music, and he's been a producer for decades, and he is very famous for his ambient sounds, you know, like his collaborations with Robert Fripp of King Crimson and was it No Pussyfooting in the 70s, and then music for airports, and just this kind of laid back ambient kind of business. And what I've gone and done is completely blown the atmosphere by applying triggers to my drum kit. And I don't use triggers in a normal kind of way. I don't put triggers on my drums to add a second set of drums, if you know what I mean, to bolster up the sound or anything like that. I love my drums just the way they are. So the triggers that I use, I started off with just a set of 5 for a 5-piece kit, and they've expanded, and I've got a few others now, and I've even got homemade ones which I'm about to show you. But what goes on is my triggers go into an interface unit, which you can see right here just on the corner of your screen. An Alesis interface unit, and homemade leads. It's got 10 inputs, and but they're stereo. So I went to work one night and made up the leads so I could get 20 triggers if I wanted them. Okay, I just took a soldering iron and just started off with a stereo jack and 2 lines in, soldered it up, bang. So it's what I'm doing there, and then it's out into my laptop over there, and into good old GarageBand. I'm not doing anything overly fancy. And this actual interface unit allows me to allocate actual notes, not just a bass drum or snare drum. It allows me to just put in a B flat or a F sharp or whatever it is that I want. And what I've done, it's got 20 patches, and I've really used 9 to 20, and I've left the first half a dozen because they're sort of preset sort of thing, if I ever use them. And you know what? I've never used them in 4 or 5 years. And everything that I've got there is based on the modes. I can go flamenco if I want. At the moment, I'm using a Lydian patch. Pardon me. And the actual sound that I have is an orchestral harp, and and I just did that. It just seems to work with Brian Eno's Trope app. See, the whole time I'm talking over this self-generating app, and I'll just do my own kind of atmospheric concoction. Something there. Now, I mentioned homemade triggers before. Pardon my cough today. Simple $3.50 little gadget, doorbell contact, and still in its casing, wired up to the aforementioned homemade lead. And this particular one is number 10, and it's off its particular drum. That's what I'm doing with that, and really they're very, very cheap. It's sort of strange because they're also fairly high maintenance, but some triggers out there are over $100 and all that, and you can get the whole set for less than 50. So if you've just prepared every weekend just to go, oh, number 7, number 10 and number 11 don't work anymore, just go picks them up. There you go. So there's something about triggers. That's my first segment for this particular show of the Drum Show. I'll be back after the break to talk about a couple of different things. This isn't just about triggers. This is also about things that triggers push you into. Okay, I'll talk more about that after